evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a gubernatorial forum from Springville, Alabama at beautiful Matthews Manor. My name is Matt Murphy. I am host of WAPI's News Talk program from 6 until 10 in the morning in Birmingham, Alabama. I will be your moderator for this evening's gubernatorial debate. The debate is brought to you by Campaign for Liberty, co-sponsored by the Rainy Day Patriots of Alabama. Directly to my left, Marcelo, and Marcelo, I always mess up your last name. Munoz. Was that correct? Yes, sir. Marcelo Munoz is with Campaign for Liberty, and he's primarily responsible for bringing us this gubernatorial forum tonight. And to his left is Zan Green, president of Rainy Day Patriots, co-sponsor of the event. Tonight's event will begin with opening remarks as the candidates introduce themselves for a couple of minutes to the folks listening at home as well as in the hall. We will then begin with a format in which the candidates are given 2 minutes each to answer a question. Although we do not encourage a counter response, those are allowed for 30 seconds each after the initial response is finished. I hope that makes sense to you. Very good. Our three candidates this evening, after which time you're invited to leap to your feet with robust applause. From the left, Dr. Robert Bentley, representative from Tuscaloosa. In the center, former head of ADECA, Bill Johnson. And to the right, businessman, Greenville, Alabama native, Tim James. A round of applause, please. The order of participation was selected at random, and I will begin our questions from the left and moving to the right, and each of you will begin your response in that order. But before we do so, we will allow for opening remarks, and Dr. Robert Bentley starts us off.
Good evening. It is good to be here tonight on this rainy night for the Rainy Day Patriots. So I guess this is very apropos, isn't it? My name is Robert Bentley. I've been a physician for 34 years in Tuscaloosa. I practice medicine and I know about the people's lives because I've seen 35 patients a day for 34 years. Did I say 35 years? I meant 34 years. But I know about people and I understand the lives of people and I understand how people in Alabama think. But I've also been a businessman because we have over 30 employees in my practice. I started that practice by myself, and I've gradually increased it. We have 8 doctors in our practice. In fact, we have the largest dermatology practice in the Southeast at the present time. But I also have had the privilege to serve House District 63 as a state representative. And so I understand not only people, but I understand business, and I understand you when you are frustrated with government. Because believe me, having been there 7.5 years, sometimes I'm frustrated with it also. I look forward tonight to your questions, and we hope that we can give some good answers. So thank you for inviting me.
Second up, thank you very much. Very good. Second is Mr. Bill Johnson.
Good evening again. I'm Bill Johnson, Republican candidate for governor, and I know you've got some questions you're asking yourself. One is this guy conservative enough to represent me? And is this guy tough enough to represent me? And is this guy experienced enough to represent this state? I hope through the course of answering some of these questions this evening that you'll have those questions answered. But I just want to relate a couple facts that I think are relevant. One, when I was 20 and the Soviets had invaded Afghanistan, in between my junior and senior year in college, I flew to Pakistan to volunteer to help fight the communists that had invaded Afghanistan. When I was 25, we had communists here in our hemisphere when they invaded or when they took over Nicaragua. At the age of 25, I took a bus down through Mexico, Guatemala, and ended up on the front lines between Honduras and Nicaragua and worked 8 months as a medic with the freedom fighters that Ronald Reagan was supporting, fighting for their freedom in their country. Those experiences have shaped me to this day. I have when I got back to the States, had a small roofing company and worked. But then when President Clinton got elected and they took the country on a hard left-hand turn like what we see Obama's trying to take us on even a harder left-hand turn, I got very energized. I got active in politics, and I've been working, supporting conservative causes and conservative candidates ever since. Once I was elected to office as a Birmingham City Councilor here, I voted against over $1 billion worth of taxes. As head of the Department of Economic and Community Affairs, I've overseen that agency, primarily a grant-making agency, working to make sure that your tax dollars, our tax dollars, are spent just like they were our own. So anyway, I hope to share more with you through the question cycle. And how much? We had 2 minutes. Am I up? All right. We'll have more time later on to talk. Thank you all.
And thank you very much. And Mr. Tim James.
Thank you to the Rainy Day Patriots, the Campaign for Liberty. Great night, great crowd given the weather. So this says a lot as to what's going on. Barely a day doesn't go by that someone doesn't ask me, Tim, why in the world do you want to be governor? And the truth is, I believe in public service. I believe it's important. I believe the country is in the condition it's in because for about a generation and a half, good people have not engaged. I believe that to whomever much is given, much is required, and I believe the day has come to return to a simpler time, to put common sense back in government. We're going to talk about a lot of things tonight. I want to touch on one thing. These are tough economic times. Unemployment in this great state is far north of 10%. People are struggling. More people than you can imagine are living week to week throughout Alabama. There's no easy fixes. The federal government, the Federal Reserve, y'all may have watched what they've been up to. They've tried to continue to engineer finance policy. That's what got us in this mess. Keynesian economics is over. It's dead. The bailouts, we've watched them explode our national deficit, laying this burden on the backs of our children and our grandchildren and put our currency at risk. My background is a little different. I don't have a political resume. I've spent 25 years building companies in Alabama, making payrolls, creating jobs. This background, combined with this humble desire to serve our people, I think, has prepared me to lead this state during these fragile, turbulent economic times. We have much to do, but we have a lot to work with. Hard work, common sense, grounded in these principles of self-determination will ensure our future success. Thank you so much.
Thank you.